Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at the 2018 Honda Clarity Touring. It's an all-new vehicle for Honda. It's a first. There's a bunch of cool technology in here. Alcantara interior, wood grain. It's a plug-in, so a lot of new and cool stuff to go over. I'm excited to go over it with you guys and check out all the new features. But a couple things I need you to do first are subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, so you can get notifications when I update new videos. Leave a comment down below after the video. Let me know what you thought and other vehicles you'd like to see me review in the future. And if you liked the video, be so kind and give me a thumbs up. Let me know you liked it. But let's get into the Clarity. Check it out, all the new technology and everything they have to offer. I'm pretty excited about it. A lot of people are excited about it. And this one's a Touring, so it has all the technology and features you could ask for. So as we walk around the vehicle, you'll notice a few things that kind of remind you of a Civic, Accord, Insight, and a few new things that aren't on any other Honda vehicles. I do like this honeycomb looking grille right here, and my favorite part is these L-shaped LED lights that are really bright. They look nice, and on the Touring you're gonna get the LED headlights. There's no fog lights on the Clarity, which is a good thing to point out. But these lights are so bright that it kind of takes the place of those. Coming around to the side here, you have Michelin tires and alloy wheels. These wheels are kind of a reminder of the hybrid wheels that were on the Accord, but they're 18 inches. So they're nice and big and they look good. And then over here, you're gonna have your plug-in door. Coming along the side, you have this nice little, almost an air scoop or an air vent on both sides, which is functional, which is why you have this little panel here and up here that kind of covers part of the tire in the back. Coming around to the back, you have LED brake lights. This black glass right here, which looks kind of like an Insight. And then over here, LED brake lights again. So the vehicle has navigation, it has a touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and the lane watch camera from Honda as well. This one, because it's a Touring, has a push button start, remote start, and pretty much every new feature as far as technology goes that you can get on the Honda. So showing you the window sticker so it's a lot easier to understand, the vehicle does operate on purely just gasoline, purely just electric, or a combination of both. If you just are driving on electric, the range is up to 48 miles on purely electric. Then you'll have to plug it in and charge it. The vehicle does use regenerative energy and charge itself if it's operating on electric and gasoline, but the charge time is about 2.2 hours with the level 2 charger, the 240 volt, and about 12 for the level 1. On electric and gasoline, they do say you can get about 110 miles per gallon. On the gasoline only, you're going to get about 42 miles per gallon. So when you hit the release for this little plug-in door here, you're just going to lift that open, and that's on the front of the vehicle. Don't confuse it with the gas tank, but you would line up the handle for the charger with this little port right here. You can plug it into a wall at home with the level 1 charger, or you can get the level 2 charger to charge it a lot quicker, but this little thing will light up green here when it's charging. And again, it'll take 12 hours for level 1 and about 2 hours for a level 2 charger. And you can also set a timer so you can charge it in the middle of the night when energy use isn't so expensive. Just like any other Honda or hybrid vehicle with a smart key and a push button start, you're gonna hit this button right here to lock the vehicle, and then just grab the handle right here to unlock. And then the seat, since you have memory seats, will move into place for you. And then as you get in, you could just hit the power button here and everything is going to light up, and it'll be very, very similar to the Accord hybrid that Honda has had. A few things look a little bit different, but mainly that screen is going to look very similar. So what they did with the Touring model is they put it almost like a suede interior. It's what you would see in more of a high-end vehicle, which is really awesome. It's the Alcantara with the silver stitching, and this just gives it a whole different dynamic and feel. You have that on the sides, over here in the center, on the dashboard, and over on this side as well, and it follows all the way to the back of the vehicle. And then you have the wood grain all the way throughout on pretty much all the touch points. So you have it on the side, the center, above the screen right over here. So it just gives the Clarity a whole high-end look. It's even on the steering wheel right here. And then of course over here you have the little details like the stitching across your leather piece over here on the dashboard that covers your screen down there. So the little fine little things that they paid attention to really make it stand out from previous vehicles that they've ever made. And not only does it look like a plug-in and a hybrid vehicle, but it has that sporty, appealing look. It really would appeal to most age groups, in my opinion. So on the Touring model, these are the memory seats available, actually standard, and you have setting 1 and 2. And then down here, you're gonna have your wood grain with all your door and window controls. And then coming over here, this feature here is where you're going to pop open the door on the outside. You'll notice that the little light comes on, it says charge lid open, and then ready to charge. And then you have the Honda sensing features all right here, which are standard on the Clarity Touring. Down here, you're going to have your trunk release and gas lid release. When you open the charge door, it'll say charge lid open. All you need to do is pull that open, get your charger that comes with the vehicle that's provided in the trunk, make sure the ports match up, and then plug that in. Then it will say ready to charge. And then again, for the level 1 charger, it's about 12 hours. For a level 2 charger, you can charge it in about 2-3 hours. So coming across the dashboard, the steering wheel, and the screen, you'll notice that it looks mainly like a newer Accord or Civic. In the inside, I think it looks more like an Accord. However, on the outside and the interior volume, I feel like it's more like a Civic. But you're going to have the push button start here, again surrounded by the nice suede material. The normal touchscreen that's in the newer 2018 models, navigation standard on the Touring, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then on this one they give you the web browser where you can connect to Wi-Fi. To learn how to do that, check out the link in the description below to the video I did on how to do your Wi-Fi with your newer Honda. But coming down from here, you have your climate control and heated seats, high, medium, and low. That's on driver and passenger side. And then you have your dual climate control. If you hit your climate button, it'll pull everything up right there, and then you can turn it on and adjust both temperatures. Coming down to the center stack here, it's a little bit more futuristic and kind of spaceship-like. This is again the wood grain here. It's very nice to the touch with the silver trim. They take a page out of the new Pilot and Odyssey book, so you have the electronic transmission, park reverse neutral drive, and then your electronic parking brake right there. Over here are your different drive modes. Because it is a plug-in and a hybrid, you have Econ, Sport, and HV mode. So you have HV and HV charge mode. So I'll show you how to use those in a little bit. Looking at the interior of the vehicle, it reminds me a lot of a Civic. It's a little bit more high-end though, with the Alcantara suede trim and the wood grain, but the seats are very, very comfortable. They remind me of an EXL or a Touring Civic with the stitching. And then coming down here, you'll notice you have this flat piece right here with your electronic transmission buttons. And then down here, you're going to have your 12-volt power outlet, 1 amp USB and 1.5 amp USB, and that is going to be where you will charge your phone and use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But there is a ton of space down here right underneath. It's almost like a shelf above. But it's a really nice place to kind of rest your arm when you're driving and store a whole lot of things like your phone or anything else down there as well. Power passenger seat on the driver's side. It's a 4-way power passenger seat. And then this is another look at the center console, which looks more like a shelf down below. A ton of space down there. There are your USB ports right there. You have the 1 amp right there and the 1.5 amp right there, and that's going to charge your phone, and you're going to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in that port. And then over here you have your 12-volt power outlet down below. Coming over here, you have your flat, or more so your glossy black cup holders. You can adjust the size of these as well to fit bigger cups in there. And then over here you have a pretty decent sized center console. It's more of a low profile design, kind of keeping it with the same design of the electronic transmission and the low profile dash and center console. So moving on to the back of the vehicle, again, it's more like a Civic and has some characteristics of an Insight, but that makes sense because it is a plug-in and a hybrid. But you can pull this down here, you have your armrest, little chrome feature there, it's kind of fancy, and then you have your cup holder there. These seats do fold down 60-40 split, which is awesome being that it is a hybrid and plug-in vehicle. And then you go around to the trunk there to fold those down. But everything's kind of hidden away as far as the electronic and battery components, so they're not in your way and you can fold this down. You'll notice even on the back you have your Alcantara, suede, stitching, wood grain, and speakers throughout. On the center console in the back you do have the air vents and a power outlet, which is nice for the new Clarity. So with the key in your pocket, just like any other Honda with the smart key, you can walk up to the trunk, pop that trunk open right there, and then you'll notice you have a ton of space for a vehicle that's a hybrid slash plug-in. You would expect it to have a smaller trunk like most hybrids, but these seats are 60-40 split, they fold down, and you have this little glass window right here which allows you to see from the rear view mirror back through the back trunk area. So there's good visibility throughout the whole vehicle. Right here is your level 1 charger. It's neatly tucked away in this bag here. Just plug it into your wall at home and you can easily charge the vehicle wherever there's actually an outlet. So looking back at this center screen here, if we use the info button like in a lot of the newer Hondas, the 2018 models, I'm going to use this button to cycle through the screen to show you the different things we can do. So you have a lot of different icons. Some things tell you where the battery power or the power for the vehicle is going and coming from. You have the navigation, maintenance, music, phone, just like normal, and then a few other new ones as well. So I'll explain those to you. This one in the center here is going to show you where your power is going and coming from, whether it's being powered by the battery, being powered by the engine, or if it's pulling that power to recharge the battery of the vehicle. This one over here is just going to be your fuel consumption like normal. This one is your miles per gallon for your previous trips 1, 2, and 3, and it'll kind of rank that by the best gas mileage you've gotten. And then this one over here is your range. This is where you're going to want to go to view your range for HV or EV or your total. So right now I have 286 miles before I'm stranded on the side of the road. This one's going to be for your navigation or your compass. And then this is your maintenance, music, phone, and this one will read you your messages or will show messages if it's compatible as well. What you'll notice on the green and blue meter here is the blue is your power for the vehicle and the green is the charging. So that's going to go up and down and fluctuate as you're driving, and you'll notice where the vehicle power is going and coming from. If I hit either of these buttons here, it's going to change how the vehicle's operating. HV mode, if I do one quick tap, it's just going to do HV mode on, and if I hold it, it's going to be HV charge mode. And you'll hear the engine kick on, and what that's doing is that's using the engine of the vehicle to recharge it without having to plug it in. So it's a plug-in vehicle and a hybrid at the same time. And you'll see right here, it's taking the power from the engine and charging the battery. And if I put it into drive and start driving, it's going to show me that the power is being dispersed to the wheels from the engine and to the battery to charge it. That's what the blue and the green means. And you'll notice really quickly there, as I brake with the regenerative braking, the brake power from the wheels is going to the battery as well to recharge that battery. One quick push of the sport button will turn your sport mode on and off. And then if I hit Econ, it's going to let me know that Econ mode is on as well. That's going to get you a little bit better gas mileage and try to lean more towards the battery power. On the new Clarity, you do have the paddle shifters on both sides, plus and minus. They're not going to do the same thing that they normally would in a vehicle by shifting up and down through the gears. What they're actually going to do is they're going to change the amount of regenerative energy the vehicle is using while you're driving. So they work in an opposite manner, meaning if you hit the minus paddle here, it's actually going to adjust and give you more regenerative power, whereas the plus one will give you less regenerative power. And you'll see 4 different arrows from large to small pop up near the D over here, and that shows you 1 through 4 which level of regenerative power you're using currently at the vehicle. And you'll notice that you'll have a little bit of a different feel in the drive of the car as you're using different powers, and you can adjust those by clicking the paddle shifters right here. Just like every other Honda with the electronic transmission, you just click the reverse button and it'll pull up your backup camera on this screen here. You'll notice that you have 3 different views: wide angle, normal, top down. Nice big touchscreen, easy to use. When you're in any of these first 2 views, you're going to have the little guideline here that turns to show you where you're going to end up. And then if I take it out of reverse into drive and put my right blinker on, you're going to notice your lane watch camera, which is now old school for Honda. They have blind spot indicators, but they brought it back for the Clarity, which I like because I'm a visual person. I like to see it on the right side of the car, as do a lot of people. If you don't want to put the blinker on, as always, just hit this button here, and that turns on the camera, and it will stay on until you turn it off. A neat feature too with the vehicle, when you turn it off, you'll notice on the screen here, it's going to tell you that there's no timer for charging right now. So you can adjust your timer when you get home for it to charge overnight to save you money and not consume as much electricity as it normally would during the day. Alright guys, thanks so much for checking out the video on the 2018 Honda Clarity Touring, and thank you for Hennessy Honda for allowing me to review the vehicle and borrow the vehicle for a couple hours to do so. If you want to check the vehicle out further, you can check out their website or visit them in Woodstock, Georgia. For more information on the vehicle, check out the links in the description below. If you liked the video, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit the little bell so you can get notifications when I post new videos on new vehicles. And leave a comment in the section below so you can ask me vehicles that I can review in the future, or questions about the vehicle I just reviewed, and I can answer those as well. Thanks again for checking it out, and we'll catch you on the next one.